Hello, hello, hello. Merry Christmas. Welcome to Entirely English, our additional video on Christmas tradition, because I just remembered this the other day, um, because I was watching one of those reaction videos on YouTube. I think the guy's name is Tyler Russell, and I've seen him a couple of times, and a couple of times he's mentioned pantomime because he reviews British things. And each time he just gets stuck on the mime part of the word. Pantomime is not mime. It is a big tradition in Britain. And to outsiders, people not of British descent, it must seem very, very weird. What is pantomime? Why do we go to see it every year? Well, I'm just going to give you a little sort of condensed version of the history of it. And it has a long history. Its roots are in the commedia dell'arte tradition, and then it was adapted in England. And when I say it's got a long tradition, we are talking about the beginnings of pantomime were 700 years ago. 700 years ago. In the early part of 1700, the word pantomime first appeared on a poster for a performance. And it wasn't pantomime as we know it now. Pantomime, the word, actually means imitation of all. And the early pantomimes were a series of little sketches, there was songs, it was basically a sort of musical thing. Various different things, commedia dell'arte, Harlequin character was in it, there was a clown character originally, and that's replaced. And it's all very different from what we know now. It certainly wasn't intended for children. And that's true right up until the Victorian era. It went through various stages, various changes. In the Victorian era, it was very much like burlesque, very bawdy comedy, a series of comedic sections without any real links. And at some point, it became focused on the children. Perhaps during the First World War, when children needed something fun, instead of worrying about food and being bombed, things like that. So the theatres decided to make the pantomimes into this family thing, but really focused on the children. Lots of bright colours, lots of interesting characters. They started using fairy tales and children's stories for the plot line. So our common pantomimes these days are things like Aladdin, Cinderella, Snow White, Sleeping Beauty. Things like that are the pantomimes. So we have an idea of the storyline already. The stories that the children know. So Peter Pan was or is a very popular story. All the sort of Cinderellas with the princesses and things like that. And they had a series of characters. There's stock characters. The principal boy, that's essentially the hero, is played by a girl. So Peter Pan, Dick Whittington, they're played by a girl made up to look like a young boy. And there's the principal girl, the heroine of the piece. Nowadays, she's a strong character, doesn't need so much help. She fights for right and justice. Then we have the fairy godmother, like in Cinderella, the one who comes and makes everything possible. And there's the villain, of course, Captain Hook in Peter Pan, the Wicked Witch, the evil stepmother in Sleeping Beauty, and there's the pantomime dame. When you say pantomime to most people, this is the first thought that comes into their mind. Always played by a man, very heavily made up, big dresses, and normally played by a celebrity as well, as possibly will be the principal boy and the principal girl and the villain. But the pantomime dame is 9 times out of 10 played by a celebrity. And there's one which doesn't appear so often these days, but was very popular sort of in the 50s. Comes into performances now and again. The pantomime horse. This would be performed by two men in a very bad horse's costume. And the horse was there to help the plot along, to save the hero at certain times, to warn him of danger. And talking about warning of danger, one of the big things in pantomime is the audience participation. So the pantomime dame, or the fairy godmother, or the principal boy would talk to the audience, say things like, say, in Peter Pan, if you see the pirate, let me know, won't you? And the boys and girls go, yes. And then later on, he's going across the stage, and Captain Hook comes from the back of the stage. The children shout, he's behind you. And then you get the slapstick farcical thing where Peter turns around, the pirate moves, so he can't. He's behind you. Seeing that sort of action going on all the time.
Ah, revenge is a grand thing.
Oh, no, it isn't.
Yes, it is. Oh, yes, it is. It is.
And when the villain comes on, the pirate or the evil stepmother, the children hiss, boo, boo, and they cheer when the hero wins. So there's lots of this participation, which the children love. One tradition used to be that the actors would throw sweets to the audience. Sweets, just throw them out to the audience. The kids are grabbing them from the air. But in about the 80s, the nanny state decided this was dangerous. Children could get hurt, and they banned it. Much to the displeasure of children. Possibly much to the pleasure of dentists, but it took away one part of the play, which was very important. Sometimes you'd have a narrator as well. He would stand at the side of the stage and link the story together. Again, often performed by a celebrity. When I say celebrity, I'm thinking of pop stars, film stars, television stars. Nowadays, we're going to get a lot of these reality TV show people who, to my mind, are not celebrities. They're talentless people who the media have made. But, yeah, forget that. Pantomime was this wonderful thing for children, a very exciting thing, colourful, spectacular, music, songs, dances. In the last few decades, there's been a bit of a change to it as well, though. I think because parents go with children and they get bored, so they didn't want to go every year. The pantomimes have started including some kind of subtle, rude jokes or political satire in it that the adults can laugh at. The children won't get, but the adults can laugh. So there's a bit of something for everybody. It's a really fun time. It's not serious theatre. It is very popular, and it's not just performed in the big theatre like the Palladium. It is in the little village theatres. You get the local cast hamming it up, a bit like Midsummer Night's Dream. You know, the tinker and the bellows mender and other people from society just volunteering and having a good time. It's a good time had by everybody, and it is fun. You have to go into it with the right mindset. I think if somebody like if Tyler Rumpel went, he would just be completely confused. So it is a Christmas tradition. I'm not out of time. It tends to run in the theatres from Christmas through New Year, maybe a week into the New Year. They are very popular. If you get a chance, watch them. There are a few on YouTube you can watch. After you've watched a couple and you understand the humour, have a look at the video of Peter Pan Goes Wrong. That's a brilliant performance where they're performing a pantomime and everything goes wrong. Makes me laugh so silly. So I hope that's informative. I hope you enjoyed that. I'm going to try to put a little extract of an episode of Sister Boniface, which was on television the other day. Because right at the end, there's a good little montage that shows the key moments of a pantomime. As I had trouble on a previous video with 15 seconds of a Slade song and copyright infringement, I don't know if that will go through. If it doesn't, then expect some just snippets of maybe amateur performances, but you'll get the idea.
My name is Sally, and every time I come on stage and say hello, boys and girls, I want you all to shout as loud as you possibly can, "Hello, Sally!" Hello again, boys and girls!
All right, you'll have to do. Now then, you, and you in the middle there, yeah? And you up there, yeah, out. We don't need your saw around here. Now, the rest of you, hello, boys and girls. Yes, well, that was fairly humiliating, wasn't it? All I'm looking for is a reasonably cheerful, hello, Dolly, yeah? We're not doing Shakespeare.
You, and you, and you, but most of all, I hate.
Bring your backside with you.
Oh, she's a lazy slut, you know.
That's my ugly stepsister's returning. I think I'll go off and gather some twigs. Remember to boo when they come on.
Well, hello. I'm a fairy godmother. So, what does that involve? Well...
No, I'm not the plumber. I am, in fact, the good fairy. It's obvious once you know, isn't it?
To the tune of Old Dame Dolly Had a Farm, right? Which is a bit like Old MacDonald Had a Farm, without the copyright problems. Okay, I think we should just try ladies on the first line, okay?
There is nothing there. What, behind me? Can I have a look? All right, I'll go this way then. You're so silly. Oh, see, boys and girls, like I told you, there's nothing there. What, behind me? What's still next to me? All right, then if you insist, I'll go this way round. Oh, boys and girls,
What? Mom, if I don't get it...
We're going to need a pumpkin next. Got a pumpkin?
Done this before, haven't you? Here.
Oh, it's behind me.
Where shall I put it?
If you make me marry someone that I don't love, I'll be forced to run away.
Oh, no, you won't.
Oh, yes, I will.
Oh, no, she won't. She won't. Pardon? When am I going to see your arrears, you cheeky baron?
Well, you must have rubbed the lamp, mustn't you? Sometimes we find it doesn't take much of a rub. Sometimes just the merest touch and then whoosh.
Could you take me away from this horrible place, back to Peking?
Yes, certainly. How would you like to travel, Master? I can do your shooting star, or a foaming white stallion, or, and this is my favourite, a great big snake. Certainly brings the colour to my cheeks.
I don't need a fairy. You see, I have Chris.
Steady yourself.
Shouldn't he be on all fours?
I'll be the judge of that.
All right. So again, I wish you a Merry Christmas. If you know pantomimes and you love them, say so in the comments. Let me know what you think. When was the last time you went to a pantomime? Are you in another country? Maybe India? Do you have pantomimes there? Australia? Very possibly. I think you might have them. If you get a chance, see one. if you have a family, go to the theatre with your family and have a fun time. Okay, so Merry Christmas. See you again soon.